right, so growing up in the African American church, where my father was a pastor, it was very significant and important that we prayed and worshiped God, which is important. I once preached a message called Prayer is Enough, and prayer is enough, because some people typically say, well, all I can do is pray. Prayer is enough. But in the Black church, we also need to bring in and adopt other practices that can come alongside our prayer to help us when we're facing mental health challenges. Because too often we assume that because we're here spiritually that somehow magically life doesn't happen. But life happens no matter what. And when life happens, we have to have practical ways to address it. We should pray. We should trust God. We shouldn't, sometimes in the church we say cliche things like, oh, just worship it away or just praise it away. You should. We should always worship God, and men should always pray, and we should always seek God. But sometimes we need some practical steps, some practical applications that we can apply in our everyday life that can help us through difficult, challenging times. When we've lost a loved one unexpectedly, when the partner that we married, that we expected to be with for the rest of our life, decided they didn't want to be married to us no more. When you have a child that you raised one way and they turn around and leave your house and live a whole nother way, that can be difficult. And grief and trauma is not always, or grief is not always someone dying. Grief could be having a child with a disability. You're not grieving that your child is disabled, but you're grieving the child that you expected to have. So we have to have practical ways that can help us address the issues that we face in life, even in marriages, even in relationships, and the dynamics that go on there. Sometimes it can cause us to be at a state of dis-ease. I'm not talking about a sickness. I'm not talking about cancer. I'm talking about a state of mental dis-ease, where we're not at ease. We're not at peace. We're not stable. And so when we're in a dis-eased state, we need to find help. And that's through our mental health practitioners and the things that we can do to try to help others. In the Black community, you didn't go talk to white folk. You didn't go talk to nobody. You could talk to your mama, but that's about it. It was a stigma associated with what's wrong with you? Get over it. A lot of times, even in Western culture, we're expected to get over grief and loss. You get 3 days of bereavement, but you better be back to work and you better be happy and doing your job. We need to be able to allow ourselves to go through, for example, stages of grief or whatever we're dealing with. Sometimes we need additional support that shouldn't be stigmatized or we shouldn't be looked down upon because we're going through something. Going through is important. When you can't go through, when you stop progressing, and when you get suicidal thoughts and you want to end it all, that's really the issue that we want to avoid. When people are going through stuff, you want to support them so that they can get through it. So faith gives us hope. Faith in some translations is the evidence of things hoped for, but not yet seen. So faith gives us hope. We hope to establish a culture that will give anybody that's hurting an opportunity for healing. Okay, a lot of people in our society today feel hopeless. Well, I'm not smart enough. I'm not handsome. I'm not handsome enough. I'm not pretty enough. Or I'm not like this person. Or I'm not like that person. Or, I don't have as many friends on Facebook or Instagram. And they become hopeless. And they look into social media and they see all the fabulous and great things that's going on in other people's lives. And they equate that to their lives being insignificant. And they lose hope. Well, I want to be a person that supports hope for everyone. That no matter what state you're in, no matter how you're feeling, no matter where you came from, no matter who your parents are or who your parents aren't, no matter what the circumstances of your life and how you came into this world, you still have hope, because everybody has a purpose and a destiny. But sometimes we get hopeless and we get sidetracked because sometimes things happen in life that we don't expect. And some people have maybe mental health issues runs in their family, and they don't know why grandma used to act that way. And they don't know why when the weather changed, daddy didn't want to go outside. Sometimes they don't understand those things. And then when it happens to them, they think something's wrong with them. No, it's not that something's wrong with you, but you're wired in a way that you need some practical step-by-step things that can help you get through the issues that you're facing and give you hope. So I want to be a beacon of hope for people. With my knowledge, my training, I don't exactly remember when I felt like psychology and spirituality or faith should be combined. I just felt like we do have all of our needs met through faith and through God. But sometimes there's some stuff that we just need to learn how to do. If you have a mental health condition that is affected by the weather, like I said before, or if you find yourself getting anxious and when you have to approach difficult situations, that doesn't mean that God can't help you, but He's also provided other tools that can support you and help you get through whatever you're going through. So there's hope for anybody. And I definitely want to encourage people to have hope. I felt like the best way to address the needs of others, because I found pretty early in life that my goal and who I am, a former athlete, participated at Fresno State, and just found that helping other people is what I intrinsically want to do. Not so they'll like me, not so they'll say, well, Sam did that, or he's a good guy, but because it was the right thing to do. So when I had those opportunities, I did it. And sometimes it was just listening. Sometimes it was encouraging. It was being a motivator and a support to somebody else when they were going through difficult times. And people always go through difficult times. It's important to have somebody around you that won't judge you, but that will also give you the hope that you need in order to get to the place that you want to be.